Well, it's Monday, which means it's time for the weekend box office report, brought to you by our friends at AMC Theaters. For the third week in a row, Disney's Zootopia takes the number one spot, bringing in $38.1 million, officially crossing $200 million domestic and closing in on $600 million worldwide. Zootopia beat two new releases this weekend. The first, Allegiant, the Divergent Series, pulled in $29 million for the number two spot, with the other release, Miracles from Heaven, taking the number three spot with $15 million. 10 Cloverfield Lane was at the number 4 spot with $12.5 million, and Deadpool took the number 5 spot with $8 million. Mark, thoughts on this weekend's box office?
Oh, I have a few of them, Ashley. I mean, look, if you want $15 million and you're not a starting quarterback in the NFL, make a faith-based movie. It's going to do very, very well opening weekend. I think that's great. Miracles from Heaven sounded like a nice story, so I'm glad people checked it out. But Zootopia is still the big one to me. I was a little surprised that Allegiant didn't overtake it. Not because I thought Allegiant was going to do better than his $29 million take. I think that's actually pretty good for what that franchise has become. But Zootopia, man, it declined about 25% in its third weekend, which is an incredible number. This thing keeps going and going and going. It's the Energizer Bunny, which there's probably an Energizer Bunny running around that land. And I think that it just speaks to the fact that there aren't a lot of other family options. Now, maybe Miracles from Heaven, some families went to go check out, but Zootopia seems like the right animated call for families to make until maybe The Jungle Book is coming out in a couple weeks, but I don't know that anything this weekend other than Batman v Superman is going to topple the family dollar that Zootopia is bringing in. Now, obviously, we know Batman v Superman is going to make a ton of money, so that's going to be number one, but Zootopia, congrats on a hell of a 3-week run. Dennis, what stands out to you about these numbers?
Mostly Allegiant. It's a third film in the franchise. It dropped over 40%. It's not a week-to-week thing, but over 40% of the last movie, which made, I think, $52 million. So that's a huge drop-off. That tells you about the fan base and how passionate. I mean, it's kind of waning off. They saw the last movie, and they're like, you know what? This is kind of going downhill. Zootopia, I'm happy for it. I really like that movie, and I'm glad that it was number one again. It's those family animated movies, they just keep going and going. And we know that juggernaut of Batman v Superman is coming this weekend, but Zootopia, I think, is just going to keep on making money. And as far as box office predictions, some people tweeted me and say, hey, Dennis, you won. You got 5 out of 5. I think the only reason I won was because I was the only one that remembered that Miracles from Heaven was coming out because it came out on a Wednesday. And because I knew that
is the Lord's
Day.
Yeah.
And so I put that in there, and no one else put in there. And I think Harlow had 0 out of 5. So he got the big donut.
Well, you know what? That's probably why he's not on the show today. You're going to see a lot of Christian on the Schmodown. Look, and it's not a commentary on whether I think the Divergent series is good movies or not. I've only seen 1 out of 3 of them. I saw Insurgent, didn't see the first Divergent, definitely missed Allegiant, but it seems like the fan base that really cares about those movies are still going out to see them, and everybody else is like, it's just not a phenomenon like they thought it might be a Hunger Games competitor, so that's why the lower numbers every time a new movie comes out. Schnapp, what do you see about this weekend's results that really stands out?
Well, like you mentioned, I mean, me and Dennis, I have only seen Detergent once, and that was when we were in Atlanta, so that's not really my thing.
Divergent.
Oh, Divergent. So whatever it's called. Zootopia, that's
hyphen
awesome.
Gent,
yeah.
and you're there.
Do your laundry and then see that movie. Yeah, Zootopia and the other family film, Deadpool. So it's good to see both of those rounding out the top 5. I think that's really great. I like seeing the 10 Cloverfield Lane is still in the mix. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't like the ending or whatever. Screw off. It's fun. If you never saw Twilight Zone or Black Mirror, get a life. Check that out. Then you'll like 10 Cloverfield Lane just a little bit more. So,
speaking of detergent, your Kroll shirt smells spring fresh.
Yeah,
Josh,
it's very
what
fresh.
about you? You had a crazy weekend. Did you get to see a movie?
I did not, because I binged until my eyeballs fell out of my head, Daredevil. I honestly think that a lot of people binging may have just skipped the weekend to watch Daredevil.
Guess what we did? We were here this weekend.
Exactly. And it was worth it 100%. Yeah. I will say, these movies, so you have Divergent, you have Hunger Games, and you have Maze Runner. If you put all of those in a hat and you didn't know it, and you gave it to my mother, she wouldn't know what movie it was, because they all seem to have the same title, just in different letter organization. Right. I don't like these. It's all the same thing. Hot young 20s people attacked by a force that we don't really know about, in an Earth we don't know about, at a place that really we don't care about. and they just keep like punching us in the face with it. So I don't
They're
know.
all trying to escape.
Yeah.
We're being constricted in this one environment that's not cool. Get out. Outside of the wall, there's something different.
And then they get outside the wall, and there's like giant monsters that can attack you.
You guys are literally describing my 20s when I lived right under the 101. I'm